and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another tarot reading from me. Today's topic is going to be, what messages do you need to hear right now, or messages that Spirit would like to give you. This can be related to anything: career, love, relationships, family, anything you can think of. I would suggest that you don't necessarily focus on very specific issues. You can do that if you want to. But I would say that if you focus on the question of what do I need to hear right now, you're going to be guided to the right choice. And you have 4 piles to choose from. This is going to be the part where you get to choose one of the 4 seashells, but I'm also going to add some oracle cards later for those of you who would like to choose with oracle cards. So pile number 1 is this seashell, pile number 2 is this seashell, pile number 3 is this seashell, pile number 4 is this one. So pause the video if you would like to take more time to meditate upon the question. Once again, I suggest that you close your eyes, take some deep breaths, calm your mind, focus on the question, and then open your eyes and choose the first seashell that stands out to you. And of course, you are free to listen to one or several or even all of these readings and see which one resonates. I will see you at your reading. So hello once again. This is just going to be the shuffling part where I'm going to choose the oracle cards. Of course, you can sit through it or you can just skip it directly to your options. So Spirit, tell me, what does pile number 1 need to know? What message do you have for pile number 1? The people who will choose pile number 1, what do they need to know right now? What messages do you have? What advice do you have? What insight do you have to give them? Pile number 2, the people who will choose the second seashell, what do they need to hear right now? What do they need to hear right now? Pile number 2, the people who have chosen the second seashell. Pile number 2, the people who have chosen the second seashell. What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? Pile number 3, the people who will choose the third seashell. What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? Pile number 3. Pile number 4. What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now, Spirit? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? Does pile number 4 need to hear this one? Not sure. What does pile number 4 need to hear right now, Spirit? This one. Okay. So let's see. Pile number 1, you have this card with rhodochrosite. Pile number 2, you have this card with ametrine. Pile number 3, you have this card with Larimar. Pile number 4, you have this card with clear quartz. Let me, if I can arrange them a little bit nicer. A little bit. A bit. Okay. Okay, so once again, These are your options. Pile number 1 with this seashell or this card right here. Pile number 2, this seashell with this card right here. Pile number 3 with this seashell and this card right here with Larimar. Pile number 4 is this seashell or this card right here. So once again, you can pause the video here if you would need more time to meditate upon which pile to choose. I do remind you that I recommend you take some deep breaths, meditate upon the question at hand, which is, what do I need to hear right now? And then just open your eyes and go for the first pile that stands out to you. I will see you at your reading. So pile number 1, this is your reading. If you have chosen this seashell or this card that says rhodochrosite, I'm going to be reading all the oracle cards after I select all the cards basically. Okay, so once again, I'm going to add timestamps, and this is the shuffling part, so the card selection part, and I'm going to be taking my time so you can skip this part. Okay. Let me see, what should I start with? Oh yeah. Spirit, what can you tell me for pile number 1? The people who have chosen the rhodochrosite card or the first seashell. What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? Anything you can give me? Any advice? Any particular message? Anything they need to know right now that will improve their lives and set them on the right path? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now, Spirit? Spirit, what does pile number 1 need to hear right now? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? Spirit, what does pile number 1 need to hear right now? What do they need to hear? Does pile number 1 need to hear right now? Does pile number 1 need to hear right now, Spirit? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now, Spirit? Okay, that's enough. Oh dear. Okay. Spirit, what does pile number 1 need to hear right now? The people who have chosen the rhodochrosite card, oracle card, or the seashell, the first seashell. Spirit, what do they need to hear right now? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? What advice do you have for them? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? Oops! I need to collect those. Okay, sorry about that. I had to collect the cards from under the desk. So back to shuffling. Tell me, Spirit, what does pile number 1 need to hear right now? The people who have chosen the rhodochrosite card. What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? Oops. What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? Any advice you want to give, any messages you have for them would be much appreciated, Spirit. What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna reveal the cards once I have all of them, including the oracle cards. As you can see, I'm really taking my time. If you're following this bit at all, okay, Spirit. I'm gonna put these aside. So, Spirit, what does pile number 1 need to hear right now? Tell me, Spirit, the people who have chosen the first oracle card, the Rhodochrosite, what do they need to hear right now? What messages do you have for them? This one too? I'm not sure about this one. No. Spirit, what message do you have for pile number 1? What do they need to hear right now? Help me out here, Spirit. What advice do you have for them? What advice do you have for them? Pile number 1, what advice do you have for them? And one final oracle card from the Shaman Wisdom cards. I love this. Spirit, what advice, what messages do you have for pile number 1? What do they need to hear right now? What is going to help them out? What can you tell them? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now, Spirit? Spirit, what does pile number 1 need to hear right now? The people who chose the Rhodochrosite. Reshuffle. Spirit, what does pile number 1 need to hear right now? What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? This one? Let me see. Spirit, what does pile number 1 need to hear right now? This one? Okay. Let's see. Number 55, quartz, feminine, 7th chakra, water. Okay. Wait, I'm gonna put it here. Hope it's visible. And let me see. Okay, so the oracle cards. I'm gonna read the oracle cards actually. Can you see them? This one, and these. Actually, how should I put them? Okay, I'm going to put this one here and I'm going to read it first. So, Rhodochrosite, be gentle with yourself. You've been through a lot and need time to heal and recover. And this one I'm going to read from the booklet. Let me see. So, quartz, feminine, 7th chakra, water, number 55. Okay. I am quartz. I am your seer stone. Go within my crystalline rainbow and draw down fire from the heavens to energize and focus your thoughts. I am the amplifier of prayers and wishes, and I am here to help you realize your highest potential. It is a time of communications to transform your knowledge and combine it with universal and spiritual development to balance and counteract negative thought forms in all people. I am the reflection of all that is good. I am crystal. Very nice. And now these oracle cards, you have change and positivity. Don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps. All you need is that one next action. You can say to love, just show me the first step and change me into one who can take it. And positivity, if you can find even one thing to be grateful for, it will restore you to the light. Please, dear God, let me always feel gratitude for something, even a tiny thing, in even the hardest situations. Let me see. Okay, let's see what the tarot cards have to say. Ace of Cups. Ace of Swords. Eight of Cups. Three of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. 4 of Pentacles. Okay, and I started backwards with this one. So you have 6 of Cups. 5 of Wands. 4 of Wands. 7 of Wands. Loads of Wands. Let me see if I can move them a little bit. Okay. The High Priestess. And the Chariot. I already have some ideas. Don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps and positivity. You can say to love, just show me the first step and change me into one who can take it. Ace of Cups shows the beginning of new love. Water, feminine, 7th chakra. Wow, I really think that you might have a chance. I mean, to be honest, I'm not seeing like strong relationship, like romantic relationship vibes here. Although this could also be about the beginning of a new relationship, a new romance blossoming soon in your life in the near future. However, what I'm really getting here is self-love. Like, it's important for you to learn self-love. Because the Chariot is right underneath the Ace of Cups, I feel like basically the only thing standing between you and your progress is your ability to love. But I would say especially love yourself, considering what the Oracle cards have said as well. Wow. What you need to hear right now as well is that you are a pioneer of thought. You're a pioneer of ideas. I feel like you're going to get some brilliant insight, maybe in the near future, since this is showing up now. Maybe in the near future, you will get an idea for something that's gonna pave the path for a new life So this could be an idea about what to do next. Most likely, again, most likely this is not about romance or relationships. This is more like about maybe a passion project, a hobby, maybe a new career path. But you're going to get some new ideas soon that are stemming from your intuition, maybe even divine guidance. I can see that you're having trouble letting go. You're being defensive. You're being defensive because of past emotional hurts. So I feel like this is a message that you need to learn to open up again. You need to learn to collaborate. It's vital for you to learn to collaborate. You've gone through some painful endings, most likely to do with relationships, most likely, or something that was emotionally very important to you. This could have also been something like a passion project or something you really put your love into, a career path, a job, anything. It could also be a relationship. But whatever it was in your recent past, or maybe not even recent, maybe more than recent past, like maybe further down the line, you have gone through some really painful endings in your life, and you're still lingering in the past. It's hard for you to move away and to really close this chapter. And this is basically standing in the way of your progress. I'm feeling like this message is especially true for your professional development or your spiritual development. Like, you need to learn to just, close the past, stop looking behind. You might actually right now, or again in recent past, have gone through some kind of a really painful ending. And it has made you feel really defeated, really tired, like you have really, put a lot of effort into it. You have given it your best and it still hasn't worked out, and it has really affected you, maybe your confidence and your ability to trust other people. So yes, I'm basically reinforcing this idea that there's a strong message here that you need to learn to collaborate. You need to focus more on your social skills. You need to learn to open up more, to communicate clearly, and this is especially true for your professional development. For some of you, this could have to do with getting an education. You're being reminded that things of quality take time to develop. And if you want to achieve something, if you want to build a career, let's say, or get a good job, or whatever it is you want to do, you have to put in consistent effort. And also, there is a reminder here, especially for those of you who maybe are, trying to run your own business, or trying to run your own business or starting a side hustle or something like that, being like more entrepreneurial, let's say. There's a message that remember that it takes all kinds of people to make a business run. And remember that it's very important to communicate clearly what it is that you want, to make sure that everyone in your team or everyone in your company is happy and feels heard and is actually heard and listened to. I feel like this is really specific for some of you. This could be about buying a home or choosing a home. If you have been thinking about, something to do with real estate, like either moving to a new place or buying your own place, If that resonates at all, there's a strong message about you needing to be careful, as in be careful not to choose the wrong place. Be careful to be thorough when you choose it, because you could come across surprises down the line. I'm definitely getting that this is a good time for you, like around, let's say, give or take 3 months from now. This is a good time window for you to do with something like buying your own place, maybe starting to build your own place even. I'm getting, especially for those of you who are into architecture or home decorations, this is a message. Like, especially if you have like some kind of a business or you are working in something to do with real estate, architecture, anything to do with homes, physical buildings, that the way for you to progress is to focus on the people you hire, the people you work with, the communication among these people. That is the most important thing to creating a successful business. For other people, again, if this is about real estate, this is about you being thorough, making sure you investigate properly before moving into a new place, collaborating with everyone you know that might be helpful with this project. And yet another message could be for some of you that you're going to have an opportunity to work from home if you have been looking for one. And yet another interpretation could be that, for some of you, that you might be looking at having to take care of the house somehow. Like you might have to, I don't know, fix the plumbing or the lighting or something like that. Something to do with the home might require some of your time and effort, some of your money maybe. Wow, like this message of you getting into conflict is reinforced here. I mean, getting into conflict? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know if I worded it correctly. It's really important for you. I definitely feel like, at least for some of you, this is something to do with either a work environment or a business or something you're trying to build. Some situation that requires a lot of collaboration, and it's giving you some headaches. You need to work with people who are very different from you, are coming from a different background. There might be misunderstandings. So it's very important for you to communicate clearly in all situations. This is definitely a strong message. The 10 of Wands, right? And I also feel like you need to, oh God, I'm getting a really strong message here, but, and again, these two messages go hand in hand. It's really important for you to understand, what you can do, how much you can do, and be honest with yourself. Don't bite more than you can chew, basically. Don't take on more than you can handle. And I'm feeling like you feel left out, you feel isolated, you feel like people are just giving you loads of things to do. Again, I'm getting this could be about a work situation, but this could even be like within a family, how you delegate tasks, let's say among family members. You could be feeling swamped with tasks, like you have too much stuff to do and you feel alone and like nobody understands you, or like nobody can show you real empathy. And I think that if this is you, the solution is to just communicate clearly, to just tell people, look, I cannot deal with all this stuff on my own. Could you please take care of these tasks, delegate some stuff? Because I think you might be thinking that you are all alone, but the reason why you feel this way is also because you don't reach out and you don't talk openly about what you expect from others. Huh. I'm definitely feeling like you are being very frugal right now, but this is a message of, it's really interesting. I definitely feel like for you, the main theme revolves around like something like security, the home. Also, issues to do with independence, like you having to balance between your interests and the interests of a company or of a family. There's a message, what I was going to say is that there's a message that you might be too focused on money. Try not to over focus on money. Like, money is important, and it's good that you are not overspending, that you are being conscientious about your finances, but at the same time, don't allow money to be the center of your existence, because it's not. It's not the meaning of life. So I feel like there's a message also that you might be stressing yourself out a little bit too much because you are, basically pinching every penny, and you might be depriving yourself thinking that this is going to help you in the long run, but you might be overdoing it because, look, there's like a really strong message here with the Four of Pentacles and underneath the Six of Cups. It's like, the message to me is like, loosen up a little bit, okay? Don't take yourself so seriously. Stop acting like, it's the end of the world if you don't have perfect financial situations. Trust a little bit that, things are going to get better. I'm not saying go and waste your money on playing the lottery or a casino or whatever, gambling or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, it's like, don't overdo it. Do allow yourself an indulgence every now and then. Because if you just keep depriving yourself all the time, you're just going to become depressed. You're going to become miserable. And it really defeats the purpose of improving the quality of your life. There's also a strong message that, like, for those of you who have kids, or maybe you are a teacher and you work with kids, I feel like that's a good message that, spending time with kids even could help you. So for those of you for whom that is a choice, like that is an option, spending time with kids could help you, you need to get back in touch with your inner child. Especially for those of you who do not have kids, I feel like that's the best thing you can do. Get in touch with your inner child. Don't be overly serious and responsible to the point where you just drain all the joy of your existence, of your daily existence. So in other words, allow yourself to loosen up, to have some fun, to enjoy, do things not just for money, but for fun. That's a strong message. Like, there are things you can do that cost little to no money and will make you happy. Get back in touch with the things that you used to do, for instance, when you were a child. And of course, it doesn't mean like literally, right? Like, I don't know, playing in a sandbox, but you know what I mean. It's like getting back in touch with that feeling, whatever can put you back in that feeling of, I really love to do this, to the point where you are losing track of time and you're in the flow, so to speak. You lose track of time and you just do things because you enjoy them. Allow yourself to have at least some of those moments, I would say semi-regularly at least. If not, you're just going to drain yourself, drain your existence of any joy. I also feel like, yeah, like I mentioned, like there's a strong message. Again, this is about messages for, let's say, around the time you are watching this. So I'm not going to get into how these cards, let's say, describe your general personality. Overall, I feel like there's new beginnings ahead. Okay, like you are right now still at an ending, towards an ending of a chapter, and you're still kind of not feeling great. You're pretty tired. I definitely feel that you are tired. you know, probably have gone through quite a lot. Maybe you have worked hard for something. That's another thing. Like for those of you, for some of you, it can be an education, like, you know, a degree or something like that. And for some of you, it can be a career, a job, a business, most likely something to do with a professional life or some kind of passion project. And you've worked really, really hard, I feel, and you are frustrated because you're not getting the results. Maybe you're not getting the financial results that you would like to get. And I feel like sometimes every now and then you feel like throwing in the towel. And if that is the case, then the message from Spirit is that, you know, don't give up, because you're very close to a new beginning. Look at this, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords. So it's really interesting to me because, like I said, so the Ace of Cups can also show a new romantic beginning, the beginning of love, but it can also just show the beginning of you loving yourself and doing what you love, if that makes sense, especially with the Chariot underneath. And like I said, so once again, just to reiterate, the Ace of Swords and the High Priestess is about intuition, you trusting your intuition. Because like the water with the quartz feminine here, look at this. To me, this reinforces the Ace of Cups. You need to learn to trust your intuition. Your intuition and your ability to love yourself and to love others, to open up a little bit, because this message is repeated here in this spread. That's going to lead you to success. Loosening up a little bit, learning to relate to other people, you know, on a human-to-human basis. Basically, to some extent, cultivating your emotional IQ, but also loving yourself, cutting yourself some slack every now and then. Don't be so hard on yourself. Because it's like, you know, I feel like there's a message of similar to work smarter, not harder. Basically, if you just push yourself into exhaustion, it's not going to lead you to better results or a happier life. That's the message here. So yes, take some time off every now and then. And also, because of the Change card and the positivity, you know, this again leads me to that saying of like, what is it? A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step or something like that, something along those lines. So this is actually, now that I notice, it's hand in hand with the what the Three of Pentacles says. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. So I feel like, again, don't over focus on what you want to achieve. Like I'm pretty sure that you're someone who has some kind of a big goal in mind, like, or you have some goal that you perceive to be really daunting, and yet you really want to get it. So I feel like the message is, you know, break down the big goal into smaller steps. Don't look at the, you know, because if you just look at something that seems impossible, it's not going to be motivating. So instead, you know, break it down into smaller steps that you can achieve one step at a time. You know what I mean? Like different stages, as in going from, don't plan to go from A to Z, you know, go from A to B first and then from B to C. You know what I mean? Okay, so this is pretty much what I'm seeing in your reading, and I hope that you will find this useful, and I hope it resonates. And if it does, or if it doesn't, please feel free to comment in the comment section. And if you have enjoyed this reading, don't forget to give a like and also subscribe to my channel, and also hit the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. And of course, if you're interested in a personal tarot reading, you can email me at the email in the video description. Thank you. Hello, pile number 2. This is your reading if you have chosen this little seashell right here, and or this card that says ametrine. Okay, so I'm going to start with the shuffling, and I'm going to add timestamps as usual, so you can skip directly to the card interpretation, because I'm going to be taking my time. Okay, Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 2? What do they need to hear right now? Spirit, what does pile number 2 need to hear right now? Tell me. What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? The people who have chosen the Ametrine card. What messages do you have for them? What advice do you have for them? What messages do you have for them? What messages do you have for pile number 2? The people who have chosen the Ametrine card. What do they need to hear right now to maybe improve their lives? Spirit, help me out here. Tell me, what does pile number 2 need to hear right now? These two, okay. What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? Tell me, Spirit. What is pile number 2? Okay. I'm trying, but it's all twisted. So, Spirit, what does pile number 2 need to hear right now? What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? The people who have chosen the Ametrine crystal card. What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? What messages do you have for them? What advice do you have for them? What do they need to hear right now? Spirit, what does pile number 2 need to hear right now? What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? Pile number 2. Pile number 2, the people who chose the Ametrine card. What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? What do they need to hear right now? This one? No, this one. Spirit, what does pile number 2 need to hear right now? What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? What do they need to hear right now? Come on, help me out, Spirit. What does pile number 2 need to hear? One oracle card from the Shaman Wisdom card. Okay, Spirit, what does pile number 2 need to hear right now? What messages do you have? What advice do you have for them? What does pile number 2 need to hear right now, Spirit? What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? What advice, what messages do you have? What does pile number 2 need to hear right now, Spirit? Help me out here. This one? I'm going to try and see if I get a bigger confirmation. Pile number 2, what do they need to hear, Spirit? I'm getting the urge to get 2 of these. Okay. So, yes. And 2 more Oracle cards. Spirit, what does pile number 2 need to hear right now? What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? The people who have chosen the Ametrine card. What advice you have for them? What useful messages? Help me out, Spirit. Both of these? This one. Then reshuffle. Spirit, what does pile number 2 need to hear right now? What does pile number 2 need to hear right now? Help me out here, Spirit. Give me a clear message that they need to hear. This one. Okay, so I'm going to start with these cards, these Oracle cards. Relationship. Okay. Relationship. And positivity. This one came in for pile number 1. If you can find even one thing to be grateful for, it will restore you to the light. Please, dear God, let me always feel gratitude for something, even a tiny thing, in even the hardest situations. Relationship. I call in the infinite power of love to take over this union in every way. May it now fully belong to the divine. Let it unfold in the perfect way for each of us. I needn't fear letting go of control. My needs are always abundantly met. I'm already getting a feeling that this is going to be about a romance. But let me see what else is going on. Oh yeah. Okay, so the Ametrine card, which I'm struggling to pick up. Balancing masculine and feminine energies. Allow your feminine side to creatively inspire you and your masculine side to give you confidence. Okay, it may not be about a relationship. It could be the masculine and feminine within. Let me see this. North, masculine, winter, and feminine, west, Saturn, earth. Wow. Okay, 44 is 62. Both of these add up to an 8. This is a strong, but I'm going to read the description for these cards from the booklet, because there is a booklet. Where is my booklet? Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, so number 44, Basswood. Feminine, West, Saturn, Earth. I am Basswood. I am the false face, mask of the Iroquois tobacco ceremony. When you put on the mask, you lose your identity and become whatever the mask represents. You are no longer the person, you are the spirit. The mask also signifies that you might be escaping reality and hiding from the truth. Remove that mask and come face to face with your life. I am the tree spirit. I am protection. And 62, North. Let's see. North, masculine, winter, elder, air. I am the north. I am the cold air of winter. I am the night of dream time. It is from my direction that knowledge and strength are found. I am truth, and with this truth is found stability. My strong winds bring change in weather, work, and life. Listen to the teacher within to receive knowledge. Use that knowledge properly, and you have wisdom, and with wisdom, you have power. Okay, or with wisdom, you have, power. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Okay. I'm gonna get, oh man, 10 of cups already. This is how I'm gonna reveal these cards. 3 of Pentacles also came out for pile number 1. Interesting. This is like, okay. Wheel of Fortune. 3 of Swords. This is definitely about a relationship. Ace of Swords also came out for pile number 1. So if you felt drawn to pile number 1 at all, maybe you should also watch that. and the devil. This is definitely about someone is being tortured by passion here. But wait, let me not speak before I think too much. I need to think also as well. Let's see. Oh my god, the lovers. I can't make this up. 10 of Wands. The Fool. Page of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. Oh god. The Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords came out twice. Wow. So, oh yes, oh yes. I'm seeing some strong messages here. I mean, I can't even. Spirit is, you know, is really, how should I put it, on a roll right now. Really focused and very, very focused on giving strong messages. Okay, so you have positivity, relationship. You have balancing of the feminine and masculine energies. Something about falseness. No, this one, it was about falseness. Both of these add up to an 8, which gives me vibes connected to the 8th house, to Saturn. This one actually says Saturn. Masculine, winter. West, earth. Air and earth. Okay. The Ace of Swords. Okay, so the first things that stand out to me, clearly this is about a relationship. I'm getting a strong feeling that you're in love, or you have been in love recently, or you are in a relationship right now. So this could be for a number of scenarios. Either you are in a relationship that has ended, sorry, you're no longer in a relationship, or you were in a relationship that ended in a recent past, give or take, I don't know. It's relative when I say recent past, because some people, if it's a past relationship, it's something you haven't gotten over. Let me just say that. And or this could be a present relationship that is giving you a lot of trouble. I can feel that you are in, I don't know if you're in love or if you're in lust. Like, if this is a relationship that was serious, this is a relationship that was very passionate, that you put in a lot of effort, into, but you also have the heartbreak here. There's no message of betrayal. So I'm getting that this is something, I don't know, like, I feel like unrequited love, to be honest. Like, you could be in love with a person who doesn't love you back. Or you're in a relationship, but it's not an easy relationship. There are difficulties. Balancing the feminine and masculine. If this is a relationship, wow, there's a new beginning. Like, similarly to number 1, like I said, if you're drawn to it, there's definitely multiple messages. In fact, for you, even stronger than for pile number 1, that you're going to go through a new beginning. Like, there's a new beginning on the horizon for you. Look at this. Change of perspective. So the way that I would read this is that there's a person on your mind. So either someone you're in love with, someone you actually had a relationship with, or this could just be someone you're infatuated with, haven't had a relationship with. Whichever the situation may be, this person on your mind, you're going to have a change of heart about them. You're going to change, not necessarily actually about them. You're going to change your perspective pretty soon about this whole thing. Your involvement in this relationship, how much time you invested, how much energy you invested, your belief in this person being the right one for you, I'm sure, is going to be shaken. And the reason I say this is because you have the Ace of Swords twice, which shows new ideas, new perspective, and they are surrounding this, the Hanged Man, which again is a card that shows you need a new perspective on things. So You need a new perspective, and it's just around the corner. Basically, this new perspective is going to come for you. Ready or not, here I come, that kind of thing. The Fool also shows new beginnings. Again, I could be going off on a limb, but to me this gives me a vibe of some kind of an on and off romantic relationship. And it was either on and off because the other person wasn't serious, but what is also equally plausible, and even actually more plausible, is that there were things getting in your way. There were situations stopping you, the both of you, from being together. This, because of this, the Wheel of Fortune. So this shows sudden ups and downs. And it's interesting that the Fool is right underneath the Wheel of Fortune. I think the message here is that basically the wheel is finally turning in your favor. But I'm not sure if it's with respect to this person you have in mind right now, or if it's someone new. It could be someone new. But basically, the wheel is eventually going to turn in your favor. Soon, you're going to have a new beginning. But the Wheel of Fortune is also a card that reminds you, where did I hear? It says about gratitude. Help me to be grateful. Help me to be in a, let me always feel gratitude for something, even a tiny thing, in even the hardest situations. Clearly there is a message here that you might be too negative, which again is similar a little bit to pile number 1, but in a different way. I feel like for you, unlike pile number 1, this is mainly about a relationship. I feel like you're a person who, a relationship or relationships in general, like maybe you have gone through some painful experiences in romance, maybe even with non-romantic interests like friends or something that maybe have disappointed you, and you're in a pretty bad state. You feel heartbroken, you feel, betrayed maybe, although I'm not necessarily seeing betrayal. I'm just seeing an ending here. I'm seeing pain. I'm seeing heartache. Okay, so this is why I'm really getting a vibe that this could be unrequited love, at least for some of you. Because you have the Devil in the Lovers, which shows a lot of passion, a lot of lust, but not necessarily, and also together with the Three of Swords suggests that there was some kind of a painful experience or multiple painful experiences. So I'm not seeing like a strong, stable bond, at least not for now. I'm not saying that whatever you are going through, whatever relationship you might be having in mind, I'm not saying that it cannot develop into something serious, but for now it seems pretty far from that. I mean, look at this. This is really a great arrangement. Like, I feel like there's a message here that nobody can take what is yours. Like, you're going to have a happy end. You're going to have the 10 of Cups situation, which is a happy situation, a happy family life with a partner that you love, who loves you back. You're going to have a family, kids, everything that you desire. Also, a relationship that is based on love and passion. But some of you may not be there, or you might feel like you're pretty far from that, and that is basically affecting your mental and emotional health, happiness, your ability to be happy. Also, I think I mentioned this already, the Wheel of Fortune shows, I don't know if I mentioned it, the Wheel of Fortune also shows you need to be grateful for everything. Yeah, I did mention it. You need to be grateful for every little thing that you can be grateful for, because nothing lasts forever. Similarly to pile number 1, this is really similar. The Three of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. You're really tired. You're putting a lot of effort into something. You're studying or learning new skills. Or if you are, maybe you started a new job recently. There could be a thing. You're working hard. And I think this is also affecting you. Like you're being a little bit too workaholic. So similarly to pile number 1, I feel like there is a message here that, don't work yourself to the bone, that kind of thing. And also there's a message that you need to collaborate, especially if you are in a relationship and you're not feeling happy about it. I think at least part of the reason why you're not happy about it is you might feel like you're doing all the work. And if that is the case, you need to communicate to your partner that you're not happy with the situation or whatever arrangement is going on between you. So, so don't automatically assume that, that your partner doesn't want to help you if you don't communicate clearly that you want them to help you. Like this could be about a lot of things, okay? This could be house chores or whatever, things to do in the relationship, or maybe how much each of you is invested in the relationship itself and tries to make it work. But this could also just be about work. Like you feel swamped with a lot of tasks and you're pretty tired because you're overworking. And if that is the case, you do need to loosen up a little bit and take pleasure in everyday things. This one is interesting. You're slowly building your finances. Step by step. So you're on the right path. But for some of you, this could be the person you're heartbroken about. And this person is chasing money, if that is the case. So this could be a person who is a workaholic, who's, according to this card, quite youthful in energy, could be even younger than you are. And this person is really determined to focus on career, on maybe learning new skills. Maybe they're in university and they don't prioritize you and the relationship. That could be another thing that could be happening. Huh. Oh man. I feel like, yeah, so going back to the message about a change of perspective, so the change of perspective could be about a relationship, about this person that you might be having on your mind. But this could also be about how you live your life. I feel like there's a new idea that's going to completely change how you view things. And you are pretty close to basically learning how to discipline yourself, how to control yourself. Like I feel the devil could have to do with toxicity. Maybe this person that you are still lingering, you still have lingering feelings for, if this was an ex, or if it's someone you're in a relationship with, this is not a very healthy influence on you. I'm definitely seeing that it's based on a lot of lust, a lot of passion, but potentially not a lot of compatibility or, like a spiritual, emotional connection. And like I said, so you're gonna simultaneously, I think, change your perspective on both yourself and who you want to be, Maybe you will have a realization that you actually don't even like who you are around this person. That's just an idea. I don't want to go inception on people. I don't want to put ideas in your head, but that's just something I could think of. That's one example. So it's like you're going to change your perspective on you, but this change of perspective will be triggered by the feelings that this other person instills in you, if that makes sense. So something to do with the relationship. The relationship will make you change your perspective. On the other hand, this could just mean a new beginning, a new idea. Okay, definitely there's like a strong feeling of new ideas coming up. Yeah, change your perspective. You're going to go some kind of a change in your worldview, your way of thinking, your way of approaching your life. You're pretty close to this. I feel like there's also a message of, I feel like you probably have a tendency to be a little bit reckless sometimes, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. That's probably why the devil card is there. Like, you're the kind of person who is impulsive, you're passionate, you throw yourself head first, and then you end up regretting. Either you end up having a relationship with a person you don't really like or who's not really compatible, and then you end up regretting it, or you feel frustrated with yourself because you get your hopes up too quickly. But I feel like overall, whatever you are supposed to go through, it's aiding to your growth, your development. And also because of these like recurring messages, I mean, clearly I'm going back to the 8-8 here and the 10 of Wands. Clearly you are working hard on something. Like you're gonna be swamped with a lot of tasks, I feel. So the message for that is that you need to be diligent, you need to apply yourself, and you be patient, persevere with whatever you're working on. Don't let distractions get in your way. The devil is also distractions, putting immediate gratification above your long-term goals. So there's also that. But because there's masculine and feminine, and then here about balancing masculine and feminine, and here about relationship, and here about the lovers, I feel like there could be a message here that whatever you are seeking in this person that you have on your mind, or people that you tend to attract that make you miserable, is something that you need to balance within yourself, which would make sense as a general rule in psychology, let's say. Like, meaning you might have a tendency to project things on romantic partners, on people you are attracted to, and these projections come from your own unmet needs and potentially sides of you that you have suppressed. And if that is the case, then I feel the message is you need to learn how to meet your own needs. You need to learn how to balance the masculine and feminine, first of all, within yourself. Pretty much. This is giving me like Gemini feelings, yeah. Definitely. So I feel like, yeah, also pursuing what you love. I feel like there's also a message that if you pursue what you love, you will definitely reach success, for, let's say, on a professional field, on a professional plane. But it will take time, okay? So don't allow yourself to be disheartened. Rome wasn't built in a day, like I said. But I definitely feel like there's a focus here on integrating different parts of yourself. That's definitely a strong message that I'm getting. And I feel like basically by integrating different parts of yourself, acknowledging all the different parts of yourself, especially the ones that you are projecting and that show unmet needs or unconscious desires, by solving these problems, you will get to the 10 of Cups and the lovers. basically a healthy, mutual relationship that is going to give you everything you need. So yeah, pretty much this is what I can see in your reading, and I hope you have found it interesting, because I definitely have, and I hope that it resonated. And of course, please feel free to comment in the comment section with any feedback you would like to give. And if you have liked the video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. And of course, if you're interested in a personal tarot reading, you can email me at the email in the video description. Thank you. Hello, pile number 3. This is your reading if you have chosen this Seashell and the Larimar card. I'm going to be shuffling right now, and I'm going to be taking my time, so I'm going to add timestamps. You can skip directly to the interpretation of the cards. Okay. I feel like starting the other way around. Okay, I'm going to start with these. So, Spirit, what can you tell pile number 3? What do they need to hear right now? What messages do they need to hear? What does pile number 3 need to hear right now? Any advice you want to give? Any messages of importance that could help them improve their lives? Help me out, Spirit. What does pile number 3, the people who chose the Larimar card, what do they need to hear right now? What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? Wait. What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? This one? No. Spirit, what does pile number 3 need to hear right now? What does pile number 3 need to hear right now? Help me out here. What does pile number 3 need to hear right now? What messages do you have for them? What messages do you have for pile number 3, Spirit? What messages do you have for pile number 3? What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? What does pile number 3 need to hear right now? What advice, what messages can you give for them? What messages can you give for them? What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? What does pile number 3 need to hear right now? Yeah, this one. Okay. I'm going to turn the cards right now because, yeah. Okay, the King of Cups. 7 of Wands. The High Priest. The 2 of Wands. The 9 of Cups. The Empress. Okay, more tarot cards. Spirit, what does pile number... Why is this backwards? I don't do reversals. Okay. Spirit, what does pile number 3 need to hear right now? What messages do you have for them? What does pile number 3 need to hear right now? Any advice, any important messages? Give them a heads up. Whatever it is you want to say, I would be very grateful. Help me out, Spirit. Help me out with a message. What is pile number 3? The people who chose the Larimar. What do they need to hear right now? What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? Just a second. What does pile number 3 need to hear right now? The people who chose the Larimar card. This one? Are you sure? Shuffling. This is why it takes me so long, because I need to go by feeling. Spirit, what does pile number 3 need to hear right now? What messages do you have for them? This and this? No, this one, not sure. Spirit, what does pile number 3 need to hear right now? What does pile number 3 need to hear right now? What messages do you have for pile number 3? Those who have chosen the Larimar card. Come on, Spirit. Come on. Page of Cups. The Judgment card. The King of Cups again. Spirit is always listening. The 10 of Pentacles. Did you notice that this was the card that I noticed was in reverse when I was doing the shuffling? Spirit wanted it for you. That's why he drew my attention. Death. Queen of Pentacles under the Empress. King of Cups twice. So Spirit is clearly listening. Okay, more Oracle cards. Let me get one from the Shaman Wisdom cards. I love these. Spirit, what message do you have for pile number 3? The people who have chosen the Larimar card. And this Seashell. Spirit, give me a message for them. What do they need to hear? What does pile number 3 need to hear? This one? I'm putting it aside to see if I get a stronger feeling from another one. This one? This one? I'm shuffling again. Spirit, what message do you have for pile number 3? Give me a clear message. Give me a clear message, Spirit. Pile number 3. This one. No. Passage for pile number 3, Spirit. Anything? Message for pile number 3, Spirit. The Larimar card. Oh, this one. Okay. So again, I got the urge to get 2 of these. So, yeah. Wait, I'm going to turn the... Oh, I can't believe it. This is the first... This is what the first group got as well. Feminine 7th chakra, Jasper feminine, hand chakra, air. I'm going to read the descriptions in a bit. And 2 more oracle cards. Spirit, what message can you give me for pile number 3? The people who have chosen the Larimar oracle card. What message do you have for them? What message do you have for the Larimar group? Advice? Advice? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say, Spirit? What message do you have for pile number 3? The people who have chosen the Larimar. People who have chosen the Larimar card. This one. Okay. So we have work. Interesting. Perfectionism. These two go hand in hand. Okay, so I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. Use me to relieve suffering on the planet. May all who need me find me. The divine is my complete source for all prosperity and will provide. perfectionism. Permission to make mistakes is so freeing. It's the root of creativity and change. Allow me, divine, to make as many mistakes as I need. Free me from the prison of perfectionism. And Larimar, sensitive emotions. Times of heightened emotions and sensitivity call for extra self-care and gentleness. And now I'm going to read what the book says about these two. Okay, so we have 55 quartz. I am quartz. I am your seer stone. Go within my crystalline rainbow and draw down fire from the heavens to energize and focus your thoughts. I am the amplifier of prayers and wishes, and I am here to help you realize your highest potential. It is a time of communications to transform your knowledge and combine it with universal and spiritual development to balance and counteract negative thought forms in all people. I am the reflection of all that is good. I am crystal. Number 57, Jasper, feminine hand chakra, brown air. I am Jasper. I am the stone of loyalty and friendship. I offer cleaning, clearing, healing, and protection from negative or dark forces. I facilitate relaxation, contentment, serenity, and gentle endings through nurturing, warmth, and compassion. I am the stone of accomplishments, of doing things with your hands and your head. I enhance your abilities to organize and your skills to make your business and your life grow. Be appreciative of Mother Earth, home from which we are born. I am rubbing stone. Not sure what rubbing stone means. It's based on like Native American stuff. Okay. Clearly, this is a reinforcement of the Empress card. You have, I always start with the duplicates. Oh, clearly this is about work. Similar to pile number 1. So if you felt drawn to pile number 1, you also might want to watch that because there might be messages there for you. The card that came twice for you is the King of Cups. Usually when a card comes out twice, it means a particularly strong message in that direction. You are someone, I think, and I might be totally off here, but you might be someone who is wanting to, candle went out, is wanting to start a business, or you have started a business in some kind of an intuitive or creative field, maybe a healing field as well. I'm getting a feeling that you may have already started. So like you're probably someone who is maybe a little bit more advanced than pile 1. Like you've already started to work towards this business, or you already have a side hustle. Like you're probably one step ahead in some ways. To be honest, I don't even fully remember what I said for pile 1. But I do know that this card came out. And it was also about work. But in your case, there's a definite spiritual feeling here. Like you're working with something spiritual. You could have like an intuitive business, even something to do with tarot. But it could be anything to do with energy, things that are holistic, that are, not traditional, most likely not traditional medicine or healing professions, but even if they are traditional healing professions, you're giving it a twist of intuition, shamanism, energy work, all that stuff that is non-conventional wisdom. But I'm feeling like you are working towards something. There is a similar message to pile number 1 in the sense that you might be a bit of a workaholic. A bit. Look at this. You are going to have the chance of leaving a legacy. You are the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a person who is a natural leader because he understands people. So this is a person with high emotional IQ, leads me to think of people who are good counselors, psychotherapists, psychiatrists, stuff like that, things to do with mental health, emotional health. But like I said, could also refer to all kinds of intuitive professions. Look at this, the High Priest and the King of Cups. You're someone who's extremely intuitive. Like, you're very gifted in intuition. And there's an element of fatedness happening in your life right now. Whatever you're going through, you're being watched over, basically. You have some kind of an important destiny, I'm feeling. You're supposed to leave a legacy, like I said. So, like, you're supposed to deliver something, deliver an important work. There could also be a message here that you are not embracing your natural gifts. And the reason I say this is because of this work card that says, I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. It's kind of like a message of you might be barking up the wrong tree. And I feel like, especially if you're someone who is interested in having your own business, starting a side hustle, or working independently in some kind of, like, for instance, if you're a psychotherapist and you're looking for clients, there could be a message that you're looking in the wrong place. You're looking to, or you're trying to impress people who don't really appreciate you, and that is a problem, because you might be getting the message, you might draw the conclusion that you're in the wrong field or that there's something wrong with you, but in reality, you're just surrounded by the wrong individuals, or you are approaching the wrong audience with your product, especially for those of you who have, you know, something to do with a side hustle or a business. I mean, I'm getting this is a pretty strong message here. So it's all kind of like surrounding work and profession and a higher meaning. Look at this, the Nine of Cups and Death. Wow. You're going through some kind of a major transformation. The Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. Look at this, like, wow. You are heading towards wealth and self-sufficiency and being a self-made person. This is not just about, I feel like there are two messages here. First of all, that yes, your finances will increase if you keep pursuing your higher self, your intuitive / creative talents. Eventually, you will get to the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, which are wealth and abundance. So there's that message, but it's also, you're going to be emotionally fulfilled if you pursue this intuitive profession. Second candle went out. Yeah. High Priest. I'm getting, like, with you more than the other. Look at this, sensitive emotions. Times of heightened emotions and sensitivity call for extra self-care and gentleness. Like, more than the other. And look at these, both of these are feminine. There's also a message here that you need to embrace the feminine side of you clearly. The King of Cups, even though he is a king, it's still the cups, and you have a lot of them. Page of Cups as well. Cups is about water energy. It's about a person who is very intuitive, very emotional, very sensitive, their strength is in dealing with the subtleties of life, emotions, undercurrents, the subtleties of human interaction, psychology, also creativity, touching the human soul, being a poet, an artist, especially with the Page of Cups here, an artist, a writer, something to do with creativity. It's interesting because you have like the Seven of Wands and then the Judgment card. It's like the Seven of Wands, again, has to do with defensiveness. This could be a message, again, I could be going off on a limb here, but this could be literally a message of whatever hardships you have gone through, especially situations of feeling tired and defensive and, I don't know, going through, let's say, a lot of conflicts, people who have tested you, have tested your patience, have hurt you in many ways. Like I can see, the Seven of Wands is a message of a person who's really tired, really weary of life, has struggled, is defensive, is all that. I feel like this was supposed to happen, like with the Judgment card. So I think like there's a message that whatever you've gone through has been ultimately in your benefit, because you wouldn't have gotten to the King of Cups and the High Priest without the experiences that you have gone through. You wouldn't have become a good healer. I feel like definitely there's some kind of a healing vibe here. So whether you work in a healing profession like the medical field or something, or not, you could also be a teacher, work with children, any kind of profession where you are healing, nurturing, also working with nature, helping others directly, like in maybe one-on-one situations, or helping, crowds of people. But yeah, the bottom line is you wouldn't have become a good healer without the pain you have gone through. And also maybe you wouldn't have been as creative. There's also a strong idealistic streak with you. The Two of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles also sends a very strong message. It's that your success, your career, your legacy in this life is basically at the end of your comfort zone. The Two of Wands, even though this card is not very suggestive, in the Rider-Waite, it's this person who is, I think, holding the globe and looking, they're sitting on top of a cliff or something and looking towards the sea while holding the earth, the globe. And the message of the Two of Wands is a person who is hesitant, a person who is longing to leave their situation, the place they're in, but they are still caught up in fears, whatever, overthinking, analysis paralysis. So that is a message for you that basically your success is at the end of the comfort zone. Could even be for some of you that your success has to do with foreigners, foreign lands, travel, moving to another place, depending on, see how it resonates. If this is something that you have considered, that could definitely be a possibility. But overall, irrespective of whether it has to do with foreign lands and foreigners and dealing with foreigners, it definitely shows you need to get out of your comfort zone. Overall, I feel like the messages here are just overall, honestly, energy is positive. It's mainly positive. But you are going through some kind of a transformation, like I said. maybe you have gone through some painful transformations. That explains the Seven of Wands. I mean, the fact that you have the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles, one underneath the other, definitely shows that you are heading towards success and abundance. But there are some things you need to work with. Like I said, the comfort zone thing. You need to have faith in your feminine side and your intuition and your creativity. That is where your strengths lie. Basically, don't focus on things that are, not your strengths. That's another strong message. Like, the key to your success is to make the most of what you have, not try to be something you're not. Or like I said, trying to chase the wrong people to work for you or to be your clients, or, there is basically the message is you can be very abundant within yourself the way you are by making the most of your natural talents without trying to be something you're not. And this is also, like, I think the perfectionism and the Two of Wands and the Seven of Wands go hand in hand, in the sense that I definitely feel there's some analysis paralysis. Like, there's probably something you really want to do. Most likely, if you have chosen this pile, you know what you want to do. You have something, some desire, something you want to accomplish. You may not have it down to the details, but there's something you want to do, something you want to accomplish, especially to do with your profession and your life purpose. But you're overthinking and you're afraid of failure. So those are the things that you need to work on. You could even work with animals. I don't know if I mentioned that. You could work in something to do with animals, with nature. Also, another message is that going in nature could be helpful for you to clear your mind, to relax. Another message that I'm potentially getting is that you're too discriminating. That's another message. Like, you could be too demanding of the people around you, and you're shutting down your emotional, intuitive side, which is interfering with your ability to be a good healer. You could have a hard time trying to, let's say, accept people. Like, you could have very high standards for the people that you allow next to you, or people that you want to have dealings with. And that could also be an obstacle in your professional success, but not only, to do with your progress in life in general. Overall, I definitely feel like your main talent is your creativity, your intuition, talents. Your creativity, your intuition, your imagination, your ability to nurture and to heal. Like, you have a very strongly developed feminine side, like a healthy feminine side, even if you're a man. And that's really your strength. Okay, so this is pretty much what I can see in your reading, and I hope that you have found it useful, because I found it definitely very interesting. So feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section with anything you want to say about the reading. And of course, if you have liked it, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And also hit the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. And also, if you're interested in a personal tarot reading, you can email me at the email in the video description. Thank you. Hello, pile number 4. This is your reading if you have chosen this seashell and or this card right here that says clear quartz. I'm going to be selecting the cards right now, and I'm going to be taking my time, so I'm going to add timestamps. You can jump directly to the card reading or interpretation. Okay. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4, the people who have chosen the clear quartz card, or this seashell? What can you tell me about them? What messages do they need to hear? What advice can you give them? What do they need to hear right now? What messages do they need to hear right now? Spirit, help me out. What messages do they need to hear? What messages do they need to hear, Spirit? Spirit, what messages does pile number 4 need to hear? Damn it. Need to pause back. These cards are so slippery. They keep slipping. Spirit, what does pile number 4 need to hear? The people who have chosen the clear quartz oracle card, what do they need to hear? What message do you have for them? What does pile number 4 need to hear, Spirit? Give me a message. Spirit, what does pile number 4 need to hear right now? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? What advice, what messages do they need to hear, Spirit? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? Okay, I'm going to turn them over now. The Fool. The 2 of Cups. Oh, yes. The 10 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles also came out in pile number 3, so if you were drawn to it. The King of Cups also came out in pile number 3, so if you felt drawn, 7 of Wands also came out in pile number 3. So if you felt drawn to pile number 3, I do recommend you also watch that, because there might be messages for you there. Okay, gonna get more cards. Spirit, what does pile number 4 need to hear right now? What message do you have for them? The people who have chosen the clear quartz crystal oracle card and or this seashell. Tell me, Spirit, what message do you have for them? What do they need to hear right now? What advice can you have for them? What do they need to hear right now, Spirit? What advice do they need to hear right now? Nah. Spirit, what does pile number 4 need to hear right now, Spirit? Tell me. What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now, Spirit? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now, Spirit? This one? I'm reshuffling. What messages do you have for pile number 4, Spirit? The people who chose the Clear Quartz Oracle card. What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? Wow, this is... this one. This one. Okay, let me see. The High Priestess, the Queen of Swords, the Four of Wands, the Five of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, okay, I'm gonna take some Oracle cards now. Spirit, what does pile number 4 need to hear right now? The people who chose the Clear Quartz Crystal Oracle card. What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? No, I'm not feeling this. What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? Help me out, Spirit. What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? Spirit, what does pile number 4 need to hear right now? Do you have any other messages? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? Nope, I'm not getting any other messages here. So you have Squash, Feminine, West, Earth, Water. I'm going to read the description for this at the end. Well, not at the end, in a bit. Spirit, what does pile number 4 need to hear right now? The people who chose pile number 4 with the Clear Quartz Crystal, what do they need to hear right now? What messages do you have for them? What does pile number 4 need to hear right now, Spirit? Come on. Help me out here. What does pile number 4 need to hear right now? Both of these. So let's see what you got. Solitude and feelings. Okay, so let me start with this one. Clear quartz. Let yourself feel all your emotions, all your emotions. Your entire rainbow spectrum of feelings is sending you important messages and guidance. And number 34 here from this oracle card, Squash, Feminine, West, Earth, Water. Let me see what the booklet says. Number 34. I am squash, I am gourd. I grow well unattended. Let things be. Do not try to control situations or events. My vines spread out to encompass all. I help you create your abundance through my diversity. I am the sustenance of your life. Combined with beans and corn, we are life force. Interesting. What stands out to me already? Okay, wait. I'm gonna read these cards. So you have feelings, once again, like this one that is reinforcing this feel or your feelings, right? So it says, emotions want to be felt. You really can't surrender something until you deeply feel it. Allow me, dear divine, to offer all emotions to you, feeling them fully so they no longer hold me captive. And solitude, once you embrace the inner divine and your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. And what I was going to say is that already solitude and number seven turns out here. 3 + 4 is 7, 7 here. And you have all these 5s and stuff. Also the Fool to some extent. But number 7 in numerology, for instance, has to do with solitude. It's the most solitary number, let me put it like that. It has to do with introspection, it's connected to mad geniuses, scientists, and all that stuff. So that's something that stood out to me. You have the Fool and the High Priestess, the Two of Cups and the Queen of Wands. This is a very interesting combination here. Very interesting. So the Two of Cups is a new partnership. So maybe you have started a new partnership, or you're about to meet someone that you're going to start a new partnership with. Romantic partnership, most likely. This is a person who's going to be your equal, not in the sense that you are identical, but your match. Person who can match you in your energy, your intensity. And what is interesting about it is that you have the Queen of Swords underneath. I just realized that this is exactly what all these oracle cards were saying about feeling all your feelings. Look at this. You have 2, 3 even, this one as well. I mean, no, this one didn't specifically talk about feelings. I feel like these two mirror each other. These two mirror each other. But this thing about feeling your feelings, it's like you are trying to control everything. You're trying to control your emotions. So I feel like there's a message here that, you do have first class reasoning ability. Nobody can pull the wool over your eyes. The Queen of Swords is someone who, is very no nonsense, very tough, very stoic. But you have a tendency to push down your emotions, and that is not going to help you be happy. Also could potentially throw off people that would be your romantic suitors, because you come across as really closed off, shut down, hyper rational, and basically not interested. Like, I think you come across as someone who is happy to be alone sometimes. Two potential romantic interests, you might come across as someone who just cannot be bothered with romance. So this is a problem. Like, it's good for you to be logical and stoic, and nobody's telling you, to be reckless, to throw yourself headfirst into some kind of new whirlwind romance without thinking about it. But at the same time, you shouldn't overdo the control factor, because you might miss out on opportunities. and also miss out on fun. You know, the Two of Cups is also about emotions. It's interesting because you also have, you have the Two of Cups and you have the King of Cups. So I could be going off on a limb here, but I wonder if your father figure is a little bit feminine, or maybe sensitive, introverted, creative, more people-oriented, diplomatic, and your mother is cold, calculated, rational, a go-getter, a doer, and despises weakness, maybe even to that extent. I could be going off on a limb, but even if this were your caregivers, your parents, or not, this definitely shows like some kind of a inner conflict in you, like in your psyche, between the part of you that is very creative, very emotional, very sensitive, has good emotional IQ, like you can understand people naturally, and the part of you that is very cold-blooded, no nonsense, you know, strictly business, cool-headed, not oriented towards understanding or mercy. So I feel like there's like a conflict between these two parts of you that you would have to solve in order to progress in life. Look at this. I think you, more than the other piles, you have a great future ahead of you. You're looking towards, oh my God. Wow. Not just about a great future. So you definitely have the potential to have a successful career. You know, definitely. Maybe especially if you're focused on something to do with homes, like real estate, architecture, home decorations, event planning. But that's not what I see. There's a conflict happening. I think, again, it could be stemming in your childhood, but there's a conflict happening, I think, between your family life and your career. You're finding it hard to balance the two things. But you have the potential to have both of them and do them well. See how this resonates, because I'm really curious. Yeah, you could be like, you could be struggling to blend your desire for comfort, for home, focusing on family, with your desire for professional success and focusing on career. You're definitely a person who is very, not just instinctive, but very intuitive. And you're very, I think I mentioned this, you would definitely have a very creative side, but I feel like the creative side of you is repressed for the sake of pragmatism and making money. I'm also getting that you are too focused on your finances. Like you are making money an end in itself instead of using it as a means to an end. And if that is the case, then there's definitely a message that you should not be doing that. Because, well, it's just detracting from your happiness. And I think for you, I feel like there is this strong desire for security that that is really one of your main drives in life, and that's what is keeping you not really happy, because you are in this desire to be secure or maybe to provide for your family. You are completely neglecting, let's say, the more fun, creative sides of life, or your feelings, your own emotional side. Like, you're being constantly rational and cold-blooded and detached, and you just don't allow yourself to enjoy anything, or you're finding it hard to enjoy anything. Wow, like, I feel like there's a message here that you're literally, like, spirit is telling you that your pursuit for money is a hollow victory. Your pursuit for, I mean, if you get to the point of achieving financial security, you know, and forego everything else in life, then it defeats the purpose of financial security, you know, improving your life and making you happier. There's some kind of a defeat. Like, you're also, I think, mulling over some kind of a past failure, a past defeat. You're still dwelling in it, and it is affecting you. It's affecting your ability to trust yourself, I think, to trust your intuition and your creativity. There's also a message that only by use of your diplomacy and your sensitivity can you overcome conflict. Whenever you find yourself in situations like maybe you have to work with people who are from a different background than you are, maybe even a different culture, you should always practice putting yourself in their shoes and trying to see things from their perspective, and also trying to be as clear as possible when it comes to communication. Huh. It's really interesting because there is a message here that you, I mean, to some extent, you are meant to make it on your own, like, financially. You are meant to be abundant. I feel self-employed as well. Like, if you're someone who has been considering becoming a freelancer, branching out on your own, there's definitely a message here that you should be doing that. That you're going to be successful. Eventually your worries are going to disappear. Like, you are right now in a phase where I think you've gone through a lot of conflict. Maybe you have a tendency to get into conflicts, especially when it comes to work environments. And you might be tired and weary right now, but eventually you will reach a point of abundance. It's like basically promised for you because of this 9 of Pentacles here. Also, did I mention, I think I mentioned that there is a new beginning for you. Like, there's definitely a new beginning happening on the horizon. You could meet someone at work, or you could, yeah, you could meet someone at work that could develop into a romantic relationship, but it is also equally possible that this could be a business partnership. You're going to find a partner, especially, again, see how it resonates if you are a person who has been looking for someone to start a business with or someone to work with, then there's a message that that's going to be happening soon. but there's also a strong possibility that you're going to start a new relationship in the near future. I would say near future, give or take like 3 months or something. Maybe you have already started a new relationship. Also, another pretty strong message is that you are looking towards, I mean, I think I said this like more than any other pile. I think in your case it's going to happen pretty fast. Like within the next months or so, I would say maximum 6 months, you're going to go through some kind of a strong improvement in your finances and your career. Like you're going to achieve something you worked for a while, or you have wanted to get for a while. Maybe you're going to get a promotion or a business deal or something like that. And I also reinforce this is particularly strong it's a particularly strong message for those of you who work in things to do with real estate, maybe cars as well, vehicles, of modes of transportation, real estate, architecture, interior design, even things like feng shui, vastu, anything that has to do with like living spaces. Also event planning, planning weddings and stuff. Especially if you work in these fields, you're going to go through some kind of a big, improvement, I guess, a windfall maybe even. But yeah, pretty much this is what I can see, so I'm not getting any other different messages. Yeah, so this is pretty much what I could see in your reading, and I hope you have found it useful. I think it was definitely interesting. And of course, if you have enjoyed it, please do not forget to like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. And of course, if you are interested in a personal reading with me, I do personal consultations in tarot. You can also email me at the email in the video description. And of course, if you would like to give me any feedback on this reading, please do so in the comment section. Thank you.